Hey, primates! Links to the video we react to today are in the description below. Also be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as hit the little bell to be notified whenever we go live or put out new content. It really helps us out. Thank you so much. Enjoy the show! This is a new creator I haven't seen before in my life. I got it recommended to me. I'm gonna go ahead and subscribe. Like. I have to, people... Someone told me, because of a recent situation, I was like, man, I should subscribe at the end, after I watch the video, because if I agree with them, then I can subscribe and like and all that good stuff. But maybe it might not be something I like, you know? But, it's too late. Alright, let's freaking, what am I gonna do? It was force of habit. Share. I'm gonna go ahead and put this link in the description. Sorry, in the description, idiot. I'm gonna put this link in the Discord. Go drop a like, go drop a sub. Drop a comment as well so the algorithm knows. If you got nothing, if you don't know what to say in regards to the video, just drop the little call sign I have down in the description in the lads, my dudes. Alright, let's go. Tell me, what's your name again? Gabby! Tell me, Gabby, what is wrong with video games? And tell me why it is that greed has ruined them.
Ubisoft dropped the world's first quadruple A game called Skull and...
I freaking love your ramen. I've been wanting to get one of these for a minute. I have one that's a pineapple. Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? SpongeBob SquarePants. It's the only one they had at the dollar store, so I grabbed the pineapple. My younger brother took my planet. I had a planet Saturn. It was a Saturn and a rocket. But you can guess, I ended up with the pineapple because the Saturn and the rocket were pretty cool, and they wanted those. Anyways, I'm not petty about it. Anyways, sorry, just really like it. I want to make one. So completely off topic. Once we get Anime Addict back up and running, we're definitely gonna have a Degenerate Weeb or an OzDaMonke or a Anime Addict little LED light thing. But again, I will not be showing up in the video. It'll just be Degenerate Weeb by itself. I'll probably be doing some of the writing in the back.
Bones, and in true Ubisoft
or if
fashion,
not, I'll be handling the camera, you know, something.
You will see that Skull and Bones is
we're planning on making it way simpler than what we had.
It's a very big game,
we can pump out a lot of them.
We feel that people will really see how vast and complete that game is. It's a really full triple, quadruple A game that will deliver in the long run.
Guys,
they just shut it down too. Skull and Crossbow, like it just lost all of its freaking support, didn't it?
Promise that not only is this game real, but it's complete.
It didn't make anywhere nearly the amount of money they needed.
Going to see
they lost
that
a lot of money.
Did finish the game, and that's how good it is. It's not a little secret that big studios are dropping big stinky poop out of their butts for $60 or even $70 now. In the past decade, it seems there's been
I have to make a correction. See, because isn't that the great illusion? Like, let's take a look at Star Wars, what the frick is it called? Outlaws. Because we think it's 70. It's not 70 though, is it? It's not actually 70 though. Let's go to the pre-order. It's freaking, I swear, Opera, would you just load the freaking images? You're actually starting to piss me off, Opera. Like, actually, I'm never gonna freaking use Opera again, I swear. I'm genuinely gonna give up on you, Opera. Come on, bro. You can't handle the play. Are you serious right now? Are you serious right now? Opera. You really got me doing this. You really got me going on freaking edge right now. Really has me going to edge for this. Wow. Wow, Opera. Wow. Freaking wow. Okay, it's fine. It's whatever. Not even the right page, but I couldn't tell because the other one was freaking on the thing. But there are different editions. Did they take down the editions? What happened to all the special editions of Outlaws? There it is. See, they put it on a different page now, so you don't see it. Let me see this one. Where's the Ultimate Edition, huh? Don't tell me they actually took it down. They did. They took down all the different editions. Now it's just 70 or nothing. Oh, here, no, they don't put a price. They don't want to. That's fine because the internet exists, and the internet's always gonna have things saved. Let's go ahead and check this out. They really took it down from their website. I can't believe it. They really took this down. This was it. They took it down from their website, apparently. Probably because people got so mad. Yeah, allow the ads. That's fine. I don't freaking have one. I use Opera. Screw your website, bro. You suck. Bro, screw you too. Get out of here. Freaking in euros, whatever. You get the point. It's 70, 110, 130. That's what the original price was. So it's not even at 70 anymore. They want you to pay 130 for, like, everything. Including the side missions. The Jabba the Hutt side missions. But I guess they took it down from their website. Interesting.
In a trend of AAA
They're trying to
games
hide that.
releasing in unplayable states. The game is broken, buggy, or even unplayable. Remember when they used to make
I'll be fair though, before they even fixed Cyberpunk, I beat it 9 times. I literally played the entire game and got every single, like, good, bad corpo, good, bad street thug, good, bad nomad. Did all of them. Loved it. Absolutely loved it.
That worked upon release? Remember when releasing
It was bad,
a
don't get me
game
wrong, it was
meant
really
that
bad,
it was
really bad,
done?
but,
You'd think if a game is ready to
I
be
just got bored of
purchased
waiting.
by millions that
Paid
it
money
should
for it,
be
got
in
bored of it.
working condition, right?
Couldn't refund it anymore.
Right, guys? I'm gonna need to get out my exercise
Sorry, I
ball
wasn't
and green screen
anticipating
for
a
this
clone.
one. This isn't gonna work very well. AAA
What?
studios
Okay.
are so caught up in overworking
I'm like, what the frick are you doing? Is that a yoga ball? What?
their employees to launch a non-working game that everyone hates that they spent $70 on, riddled with predatory microtransactions after you've already purchased the full
Battlefield
game.
2
And they
sucks.
don't see how much that hurts their franchises in the long run. Because their current model is designed for maximum profit and not maximum enjoyment of consumers. Isn't that counterintuitive? 2K started putting ads in the game after you already bought it. Hello? Oh, this hurts my butt.
Wait, that's already in there? The EA company said they wanted to start doing that.
Cyberpunk released with game-breaking glitches because it wasn't
Green
done.
skins
But
can be pretty
despite not
annoying.
being ready, delaying the release by another year would piss shareholders and investors off, so they decided that this was the best financial decision for them, regardless if the game was done. So they figured, hey, some profits is better than none, am I right, guys? Hey, who gives a fuck if this type of shit happens? Currently, the game apparently works great now. They've fixed many of the bugs and everything, but it's too little too late in my opinion. You get a reputation for doing that sort of thing. Diablo 4, I couldn't even play couch co-op without glitches that made the game completely unplayable. There was no option
Oh,
to just
rubber
play
banding
offline
sucks.
locally for no reason. So we couldn't
Bro, I still haven't played Diablo 4. I gotta get on that, actually.
even enjoy our chat.
Apparently, the new loot DLC or whatever the frick is happening is apparently I haven't heard much about it actually. To be honest with you, I saw Asmon did a freaking Let's Play or something on it. I might check that out later.
Eddie Burback Warrior roleplay. I ended up uninstalling the game after several tries over several days and never played again, which I don't understand. We solved online multiplayer roleplay like 20 years ago. Greed is such a driving factor for why so many people just hate AAA gaming now, and it's hard to deny. Ubisoft's CEO spouted how you shouldn't expect to own the games that you buy, as in gaming will be a service. If you don't own the game you buy, it can be taken away, modified, patched. You spent money on a product you don't own, which is just terrible and also explains why Diablo has no option to play offline. When servers go down, then what? When Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 released in 2015, the full game was actually just a modified demo disc that only had the first level on it and then authorization that allowed you to download the rest of the game to your console. They did this because they didn't have time to print the full game disc, and when servers for the game went offline, buying the full game disc now does nothing. It's pathetic.
That sucks, dude. You basically, if you buy the full game now, it's just a demo.
And that's on top of how the game just didn't release in a playable state. John Riticello, the former CEO of EA, notoriously greedy company, and who is now the current CEO of Unity, in 2011
Yeah, screw Unity.
and proposed a model that would charge players real money to refill their ammo in online multiplayer shooters like Battlefield. This scumbag was partly responsible for expanding the popularity of microtransactions in games, and even proposed to charge gamers per bullet fired in games. He said, "When you are 6 hours into playing Battlefield and you run out of ammo in your clip and we ask you for $1 to reload, you're really not that price sensitive in that point in time." Since he's now the CEO of Unity, a popular game engine for indie devs, in 2023, John Cello introduced a pricing system that would charge devs each time someone installs their game. That's on top of already paying thousands of dollars a year to use Unity. That's like if Adobe charged me every time I uploaded a video on top of already paying them $50 a month. Not even they are that greedy. That's how greedy.
Yeah, but to be fair, screw Adobe for charging you a monthly fee. Like, that sucks, bro. At this point, just go to DaVinci.
This guy is.
I'm trying
There's more
to make the
specifics
transition
to the
myself
pricing,
right now.
but this absolutely kills projects, especially ones meant to be free. This dude is a villain to the industry, and I don't know how he became the CEO of another company to ruin. It's just
Didn't he lose his job after that whole Unity mess?
really sad the direction that modern gaming is taking, with not only these greedy CEOs, but going for massive games in terms of scale and file size. There's absolutely no reason that Modern Warfare needs to be over 200 gigabytes. Being buggy and unplayable, but
I don't know why it's so freaking huge. Like, the downloads are so freaking huge, but honestly, that sort of leads into a different area where I'm saying, like, storage hardware has reduced in price quite a bit as well. So it's kind of like, that's a little bit on the games as much as it is on technology needing to advance forward and people needing to, like, upgrade their storages and stuff. So I can understand that, though. I can understand that in its entirety.
also uninspired. In the era of every single thing needing to be a remake, this era of large companies prioritizing doing what's safe and pleasing shareholders leads to the same games with less and less content being released over and over again, at an expensive cost. Sure, a big game staying $60 for several decades technically means games have gotten cheaper over time due to inflation. $60 in 1996 has the same buying power as $120 today. That's like twice the price. But really? Modern Warfare 2? Again? Really? Modern Warfare 3? Again? Do you know how difficult it is?
Oh, and the campaign was like half as long and garbage, too, on top of all that.
Searching for things when they just didn't change the name of the new game? This drives me insane. They could have released Modern Warfare 2, or Modern Warfare 3, the remake. Just give me something. Instead of innovation in gameplay and discovering new ways to optimize games through
Paper Mario 64,
creativity
007,
and how they manipulated memory
Star
to
Fox
fit on the
64.
tiny 64 megabyte cartridges of the N64. Now we have juggernaut games that have no business being over 100 gigabytes, which I just find ridiculous. Like, did you even try optimizing anything? Why is Fortnite 90 gigabytes? Why? Why is 2K now consistently over 100 gigabytes? That's just a side note.
Because they have to like bake in all those advertisements.
That's always pissed me off. But studios are clearly getting sloppy in exchange for time and money. Why wait a few more years to put out a beautiful, working, exceptional title like Zelda Breath of the Wild when you could just pump out a Pokemon game every year in worse and worse condition and make an even more exorbitant amount of cash? Vast open world with nothing interesting to look for or find just to call it open world. And sure, many games do this well, but maybe focus on a great gameplay experience before just jumping into the open world trend. Because games that release in unplayable conditions mostly end up with a quickly dwindling player base.
Yeah, we're just going to B. We'll be there soon. No worries.
Battlefield 2042.
B flag. It's around this direction. Yep. This direction. Yep. I think we're going the right way.
that couldn't play when there was hype around the game and never stuck with it or opened it again due to the sour taste it left in their mouths, even if the developers fixed some bugs and glitches post-release. Like taking a delicious pie out of the oven before it's done, so it's just like hot, soupy egg that might give you salmonella. There's a reason games like Red Dead 2 and GTA 5 have a dedicated fan base to this day, playing online and
They were
solo.
full-blown experiences. The games were absolute, like, they were cinematic. They were basically like watching a movie, you get me? Because that's what a single-player experience should be. And the multiplayer has so much to freaking do. It's wild. And there's all kinds of missions now.
If you need to pick up each can of beans one at a time, Rockstar did something right, and it's releasing a game that's done. The bar is on the ground. But first, a short commercial break with today's video sponsor, Factor. Factor is a meal delivery service with meals that are ready in just 2 minutes in the microwave. When I'm too busy writing essays and
I'll be real.
sleeping,
If I had the
forget that
money,
I have
this
to
would be
feed
a great way to meal prep,
sometimes.
but I
Instead
don't,
of having
so-
girl dinner, I can have Factor,
Boiled
which can
chicken it
also
is.
be girl dinner. There are over 30 recipes, so there's always something new to try, and you can customize your meals specific to your diet, whether it be vegan, vegetarian, keto, protein plus, or chef's choice, or other ones too. They also got you with breakfast,
As
they have
much
snacks,
chocolate
and
as
my favorite
possible.
are their smoothies. It's easy to get started, just head to factor75.com or click the link below in the description and enter the code GATEKEEP50 at checkout to get 50% off your first Factor box. And this just in, you can get 20% off your next box. That's code GATEKEEP50 at factor75.com to
That
get
looks
50% off your first box plus 20% off.
Bro, I tasted broccoli the other day and somebody put like garlic on it or something. It was good. I need to do that.
Your next box while your subscription is active. Thanks to sponsor for factoring this video, and now back to the video.
Thanks for
But in the
making me
wake of
hungry,
AAA studios
Gabby.
losing trust and consistency in the eyes of the consumers, while still pocketing so much money anyway, so who cares? There are games that are trying something unique and fun and capture that same childlike wonder, like discovering you can
Yeah, it's called Hi-Fi Rush, and they just closed down the studio, even though it did amazing.
chuck the baby penguin off the side of the map in Mario 64. And those are the rise of indie games. PlayStation Plus is a service where you pay yearly to get access to a huge library of games. Some older classics and lots of indie games. I started exploring the vast library of really cool indie games after deciding I didn't want to play Far Cry 3 for the 5th time. Nor did I want to experience the 10 Assassin's Creed games on here. So I started with just downloading whatever I thought looked cool, and it started with this really cool looking Chrono Trigger inspired JRPG.
Bro, you should play Scott Pilgrim. That was cool to beat him up.
Sea of Stars. Made me cry. Excellent game, and won Best Indie Game of 2023. Then I
Nice.
discovered Tinykin, a game that outshined Pikmin 4 in every single way, in my opinion. The world is really fun to traverse, and the platforming gameplay is really well paced and extremely fun. It's not as sluggish as Pikmin 4. Moonlighter is a really cool game where you manage a shop by day and go battle dungeons for materials to sell by night. And of course, those dungeons get harder and the materials get more expensive. And in the same vein, I was introduced to an older game, Enter the Gungeon, a bullet hell roguelike
Oh, dude,
that is
Enter the Gungeon is freaking phenomenal. I played the heck out of that one.
extremely fun, replayable, and has a pretty solid couch co-op. And guess what? You can buy all 4 of these games at full price for 1.5 AAA games. And indie games, especially on Steam, go on sale constantly. While writing this, almost all these games are on sale. And yet,
$5 for Enter the
Skyrim is
Gungeon,
still
dude.
$60 on every platform for over a decade. Back in my day, AAA games used to go on sale for $40 after a year. And it's not like these games are much shorter to justify the cheaper cost by any means. The hours at least I put into them are pretty similar to what I put into AAA titles as well. Of course, there are stinkers and masterpieces that live in both indie and AAA worlds, but people are certainly noticing a trend that these giant studios not putting out finished games
Fallout 76. Well, lo and behold.
does not cater well to the price point and, well, the fact that they're not indie studios. Hey, don't you have hundreds of employees working on this and it still doesn't meet the bare minimum expectations? The fact that many big game studios have garnered a terrible workplace reputation, not
Don't forget, Power World beat Pokemon Violet and Scarlet.
limited to overworking, unpaid overtime, and
As far as
sexual
sales go.
harassment. That could be an entirely new video. I'm mainly going after the suits, single-handedly ruining the modern state of gaming by the power of pure greed. I'm aware there are more than
That being said, she's not wrong. This is definitely the year of indie games, and it's going to be like that for quite a while. I
passionate
think that's
devs
the
on
way
these
that the
teams
whole
that want to
industry's
see the
going.
hard work they've done be something they're proud of. I also want to clarify, I'm not talking about games with a few bugs here and there, too. No one expects a game with 0 bugs and releases absolutely perfect. The ones I'm talking about are the ones clearly unfinished and rushed, and which bugs make the game unenjoyable or entirely unplayable. There's a reason the guy that made Roller Coaster Tycoon by himself is regarded as a god among indie developers. He made this game in an archaic programming language even for the time it was released in 1999. Roller Coaster Tycoon has an impressive feat of almost not having any bugs in the game, and during a time where you needed much support of a team to create and release a game. During this time, making a game by yourself or even with a small team was not super accessible. AAA studios dominated the landscape and said, "Here, this is what we got for you, and that's it. These are your only options here." And back then, the expectation was that it was done. Because after release, they couldn't rely on post-release patches and updates through the internet like they do today. When there were patches, they mostly used to physically ship out newer copies of the game. And this has affected things like speedrunning and tournament gameplay and games like Wii Sports and Melee, where different versions of the game matter. In Wii Sports, one version of Wii Baseball doesn't have this cutscene at the start of the game, and the other version does. In speedrunning, changes like this can be crucial to saving time. Yes, the PS2 and that generation of consoles had internet connectivity, but developers couldn't rely on everyone having decent internet and the physical adapter needed, and it wasn't
Never
a
had
super
those. Never had the
reliable way
adapters.
to install updates to fix bugs. Unlike now, where a significant portion of gamers have internet because the landscape has shifted from purchasing physical copies of a game to downloading it on your computer. And if your computer can't handle the 90 GB Fortnite
That guy
file,
sneezed.
then fuck you. You don't deserve to play. Yet another reason to cherish physical copies of media. I'm rewatching Inuyasha for the 5th time, and the season 6 intro song is once again removed from Hulu, and it upsets me dearly. If I had the physical copy of this, it could have been preserved, but now I just have to like play it side by side on YouTube every time I watch an episode. Like, if Nintendo could have patched games in the Nintendo 64 era, they would have destroyed Mario 64 glitches. And it would have been even more difficult to get your hands on a version of the game where you could perform things like the backwards long jump. But then, everything changed when the internet attacked. I'm the face, not Pikachu. Hello? Yes. As the internet became more accessible,
Bro, I freaking
reliable,
feel
and
that, though.
better in every
My freaking
household,
Sony camera does it all
unless
the
you have
time.
Spectrum, of course, game development also became more accessible and feasible for indie devs. You don't need the internet to code, obviously, but now you could work with a team easier online, share code, game assets, engines, tools, and the internet really allowed for community-driven indie development. In the early 2010s, we saw Minecraft and Terraria become increasingly popular. In 2015, we got Undertale and this song. In 2016, we saw also the pinnacle of indie gaming and the face of video game music playlists on YouTube, Stardew Valley, also famously made by a guy. It's undeniable how massive these indie games got, and how massive of a community these games still have. And I feel like that was really the start of this change of tide for gaming as a whole. The way we consume games is so different than 20 years ago, 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. And while I'm disappointed at a lot of the changes, I'm really happy and excited to see the good changes. Like this game called Minami Lane was made by a couple in 6 months, and it's awesome, and I love it, and I highly recommend this one for cozy gamers. I feel like I have access to so many different types of games than I ever did, at my fingertips, with low risk and low commitment pricing. I'd say 2020 saw a huge shift in gaming. With large studios putting production on hold, that left a gap for some heater multiplayer indie titles to drop onto the scene, like Among Us. Honestly, I feel like the Among Us craze forever changed how and what games content creators stream and play,
of course, you got
and
the
thus
freaking
propel the
stream on here.
popularity of. I'm probably biased because I am a content creator, but the
This was the group
ecosystem
on
of
Among
indie
Us,
gaming
basically.
has changed
Like
so much,
Uno,
even with the landscape
Valkyrie,
of streaming and content
Pokey
creators.
Main, Court's Husband.
I know Minecraft isn't an indie game anymore, but think about how much it propelled in popularity during the Minecraft YouTuber era. And now a lot of these creators are being outed as sexual assaulters. Moving on.
Actually
Phasmophobia
true,
saw
though.
this, Local Company, Party Animals, and now this new game,
It's
Content
wild,
Warning,
dude.
all focused on
YouTube
really
is getting
fun
wild.
multiplayer gameplay for a really affordable price, if not free. The price and eyeballs make these games that much more accessible to people of all ages. The goal? Get as many people to download this game as possible. Content Warning was free for the first 24 hours it was on Steam, and it saw 6 million downloads during this time. And after that, it's only $8. I don't want to harp on pricing too much because I don't think it's a giant factor in all this. You know, it does boil down to like corporate greed, but like it is a factor when you consider how indie devs don't necessarily have the same resources that big studios have in terms of marketing and reach.
Bugsnax was the first game I ever played. Sorry, whoa, what the frick? Need to drink some water. Bugsnax was the first game I ever played on the channel. I mean, I streamed. The first game I streamed, not the first game I played. I think the first game I played was Valiant Hearts. No, it was Home. It was a game called Home. But Bugsnax was the first game I ever played as a VTuber.
I mean, Content Warning is a game where you literally are a YouTuber, and the goal is to film spooky stuff and go viral. This game was made for people to play on stream and make content around, and it's so much fun, on or offline. This is so painful.
This way? I don't think they even know where it is. No? Okay, which way? Camera, where? This way?
Speaking of the massive online community indie games have, we have creators like Game Maker's Toolkit, who first of all makes really cool informational videos about game design, and Donkey, who host community game jams, where people make and submit a game in just 48 hours based on the set theme. In 2023, Game Maker's Toolkit's game jam saw over 20,000 entries. Of course, these are not all full games, but all really cool ideas, which are truly impressive to see done and thought out so quickly and cleverly. Rollerdrome is a game that was first conceived at GMTK's first game jam, and in 2022 was released as a fully fledged, award-winning 3D arcade
skates?
shooter. This
What?
gets a cool out of 10 from me. By the way, don't forget to subscribe so we can hit 1 million subscribers. My mom told me to remind people throughout my video, so here I am. You're welcome, Mom. Bouncing off of that, Steam and PlayStation Plus changed how we buy games. With the ongoing sales, releasing games in beta for basically free playtesting, games are just more accessible now than they ever used to be for everyone involved. And our library of games has ever expanded. And yet I'm still playing the same fucking game from 2001. And yes, I actively dislike Ubisoft's greed, but am subscribed to PSN or PS Plus for the sole reason that PS Plus is not only much cheaper, but offers a much wider selection of games from a variety of publishers. Ubisoft's does not, and is $18 a month. So many of us have played such a variety of games that maybe at least my expectation when I've played so many great indie games that just work upon release versus big titles that are just broken or empty. It just feels extra disappointing. On top of remembering the ingenuity that went into a really cool gaming experience when everyone was just figuring this whole gaming thing out. Boo, wah, back in my day, gaming used to be good, now everything is shit. Wah, 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 you little baby, what, you little baby, huh? That's not entirely true, and that's not what I'm trying to say.
Nah,
Gaming
son, because
in
you can
general
go back and play a lot of those games, and it's still freaking amazing. Why do you think there's so many remasters?
is like objectively better now as a whole. Have you actually tried to go back and play some of those games on the original console? The cameras are jarring and make it borderline unplayable. And I know that's gonna be a controversial thing to say, but maybe I'm just used to the camera controls that we figured out for this century. And yes, I love these games from the bottom of my heart, I promise you that. My other friend is also playing Kingdom Hearts from the beginning, and just wow.
Amazing, amazing game.
Gosh.
I'm planning on playing that on the
my
stream for sure.
Gosh. Oh, but if you don't do anything, you just don't. It doesn't matter.
I mean, this is quality gameplay right here. Just take your nostalgia goggles off for a moment. It's not as black and white as just like, oh, older games were better. I'm gonna get so much shit for saying
I don't care. Kingdom Hearts is top tier still.
that. I'm not sorry.
have
to
so
the
many
Kingdom
hidden
Hearts fans
bosses,
out there. That shit is raw. So
different,
like many
like,
things in
equipment,
this
different
world,
swords
it's a
for different
spooky
unique
gray area with
situations.
nuance. You can argue that gaming is both better and worse than before. And I really just wanted to kind of write like this love letter to all the cool indie games I've found in the past couple years and recognize the impact they've made on my life, the internet landscape, and how the good ones are so full of passion and fun and aim to do what they do really well. Instead of going for a vast open world, I want to be every everything type of game that ends up just being kinda mid. I also hope this encourages you to go check out some of the indie games that I recommended. Please, someone else play these games, and if you have, please comment below. I really want to hear your experiences with them. Like I say when I'm procrastinating doing literally anything
demolished all
important
of
by
Power,
gaming,
bro.
born
Got
to
one
game,
of every single
forced
pal,
to work.
defeated all the bosses, got the legendaries. Now they just about to release, or they already did release a new DLC. I'm gonna have to get into that. And like, go capture all the new pals too.
It feels like accusations against
Absolutely loved it, my dude. What a great, absolutely great video. Please go
Recently,
and drop them a
Ubisoft
like, a
dropped the
sub,
world's-
all that good stuff, my dude. They deserve it. Thank you so much, Primates, for watching this all the way to the end. Also, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as hit the little bell for a rainbow explosion that will go ahead and notify you every single time we go live or put out new content. Thank you so much, goodbye, and thanks for swinging by.